Hello, thank you for joining from the Game to Grace. I'm your co-host, Candace Hayes.
And I'm Jarius. Hey,
And so today we're going to be talking about adversity, the uh, the meaning of adversity, how you overcome adversity, and if it wasn't for adversity, some of the things when I think about adversity is challenges, some of those things that are where you feel like when you're going through adversity, the easiest thing to do is to just quit, just to give up. That's the easiest thing that you can do when you're going through adversity. However, if you give up too soon, no one will know what you actually been through, and no one will be inspired by your story if you don't, fulfill going through adversity. Yes, it's hard to go through adversity. Yes, no one wants to go through adversity, but those are just the things of life. Everybody will have tests and trials to go through. It's just a matter of fact how you get through your trials. So, Jarius, we're gonna talk about some adversity that you had when you played in the league, like your adversity from being cut. Well, we say
same,
cut,
same
but it's the
thing.
same thing. The professional word is released. So when you were released from the Arizona Cardinals, what was what was your mindset? Through that adversity. Let's kind of talk about that, like what your thought pattern was. Like, did you feel like everything was over for you? With your career, and because that takes a long time, like to kind of train to where you've come from and to get to that point, and then to be released of something of your dream that you always dreamed of having and doing, and actually you're in it, but then they tell you that we can't, we it's just not a right time to be a part of our organization. So just kind of tell us about that adversity and how you came the adversity and some of your defining moments of the adversity.
Yeah. Well, after my rookie year, my first year, I go into my second year, and I go into training camp. I go through all training camp, and I get to the final cut the day before the 53-man roster is finalized, and I get released. And I can't remember my emotions. I can't remember what I was thinking, but I was kind of frozen, so to speak. And because I didn't know what I was going to do next, I didn't know if I was going to get a call from another team. I didn't know. I really didn't know what the next step was going to be at that time. And so I get released, and it's a waiting game. Week one, nobody called. Week two, nobody called. Week three, next thing you know, is week 10, nobody has called.
Season almost over
Then
now.
the season is
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
Nobody called.
yeah.
So I'm sitting here trying to figure out, okay, well, will I get another opportunity to make it, to get back in the NFL? Or do I need to give up and just kind of choose another career path? But however, I still believe, because all that time I was out, all that year I was out, I was still working out. I was still staying in shape, and I was still prepared that if I did receive a call, that I would be ready. So I still believed, even though there was nothing happening on my behalf, I still believe. And so the whole year of 97, I sit out. And then the spring of 98, I can't remember if it was my agent that called me, or I don't know what happened, but I get a call about this thing is called NFL Europe. And if you're not familiar with it, NFL Europe was at that time a kind of minor league developmental system for, younger NFL players that may not be on a team or may be on a team, but they go to NFL Europe to get more playing experience. And so I get a call from, like I said, I can't even remember who or what, but I think initially my agent called me and said, hey, this team called, they want you to come to their team, sign their team to play in NFL Europe. And in NFL Europe, it was a team in Amsterdam, it was a team in Spain, it was 2 teams in Germany, 1 team in England, and 1 team in Scotland. And so I get the call, I signed with a team called Amsterdam Admirals. And training camp is in Atlanta, Georgia. So we go to training camp for, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks, I think, something like that. And after those 2 to 3 weeks of training camp, we fly to Amsterdam, which is at that time the longest flight I've ever been on in my life. It was from Atlanta. We flew from Atlanta to Germany. And when we got to Germany, we flew to Amsterdam. The flight from Atlanta to Germany was 7 hours. 7 hours on a plane.
So what did y'all do? I mean, I know you told me what you did, but just for the people
We just
that's listening.
on the flight. What did we do on the
Yeah.
flight? We had fun on the flight.
Yeah. Like what y'all do?
We just tried to. We talked, and I guess some guys played cards. You read, and you did whatever. We just tried to do anything to pass the time, and also just trying to blank out our minds that we were in the air
that long. Yeah. So didn't it have an upstairs and downstairs on
Not
this
this
plane?
one.
Okay,
Not this
plane. Okay.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
we kind of tried to do things to kind of forget that we were in the air.
Yeah.
And we was gonna be in the air for this long. So we kind of had to try to psych ourselves out because that was uncomfortable for me, knowing that I was gonna be on a flight for 7 hours. But we make it to Germany, then we go to Amsterdam, and like I said, the season was, we played 10 games, and every weekend we would fly to Spain, England, Scotland, or Germany. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was a developmental league where younger NFL players and some older, played in the league, got playing experience.
Give us some of the names that people that you played with that were like Hall of Famers now, or maybe Super Bowl players.
I was on Amsterdam Admirals, and the starting quarterback was Kurt Warner.
Okay.
Who won a Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams. I think he also lost one with the Rams, and he was with the Cardinals and he lost one. But I think he made it to 2 or 3 Super Bowls. He was my starting quarterback. Nobody knew him at the time.
Yeah.
His backup was Jake Delhomme, who was the quarterback. He got the Carolina Panthers to the Super Bowl, even though they lost, but he got them to a Super Bowl. And I can't remember the year he got them there, but on this team, what's supposed to be a developmental minor league, I had 2 Super Bowl quarterbacks on my team. But back then, nobody knew their name. Yeah. Nobody knew them.
So that's a good way of not defining like small beginnings.
Right, because this is what could have happened. When I got the call from about the NFL Europe, I could have said,
I'm better than that.
Yeah.
I don't need that.
I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Push it away and see what seems like something insignificant. That was the door that led to the door that I was trying to get to.
Right. And I know this is talking about football, but this could work for anything in anything, any
right.
situation.
Right. And so the key was to get back on the field, get on film so teams could see you.
Right.
Whether it was backyard football, it didn't matter. The key was get back on the field, get film, get playing experience. So now you can give yourself an opportunity to get back into the league. And but it was a long haul because like I had to leave home. I left home. I was gone from home for about, let's say 13 or 14 weeks, which is, that's almost what, 3.5 months?
Yeah, it felt like forever for me.
Yeah, I was gone.
You know, because I had all the kids.
Yeah, I was gone home 3.5 months.
Yeah.
And I got back home, I want to say the first or second week in June.
Yeah.
And you know, I played the full season, got some good playing time, got on film, and I actually enjoyed playing. The only thing I didn't enjoy was just being away from home for so long. But man, the crowds were like amazing. Our home crowd was amazing. We went other places. Germany probably had the best fans. I mean, those fans were like amazing. And like I said, we had fun playing, and we had fun. You guys on the team, everybody was cool with each other, and but I could have shunned that door.
Yeah. And missed a door of an opportunity.
But that was a key to me getting back into the NFL, you know, still fulfilling my dream. And so you never know. You never want to turn down what may seem like is insignificant could be the very door that can get you where you want to go. So, you know, I played 10 weeks. I get back. I fly back to Arizona. I flew back to Arizona. I left Amsterdam, flew to Germany. From Germany to LAX was 10 hours. And from LAX to Phoenix was like, I guess 45 minutes to an hour. But this time I was on a flight for 10 hours.
Now, was that the flight that had the upstairs and downstairs?
And man, when I tell you, they gave us so much food. I think I got sick. Because it's like every hour.
They're giving y'all food.
Okay, y'all want something to eat?
Well, so was somebody cooking on the plane?
I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
All I know is they bring food out. And I was eating.
What kind of food?
Just different food.
Yeah.
I mean, it was decent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they was bringing it out. I was eating
it.
You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
10 hours. What else you going to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they bring the food out. I'm eating it. And my stomach started hurting. I said, let me stop.
Gosh.
And so I was just like, and so we get back. Man, I was so tired. When we got to LAX, we still had the 45-minute flight back to Phoenix. I got on the LAX. I got on the plane at LAX. I lay my head back. I shut my eyes. I wake up. We already in Phoenix, and the plane is almost empty. Because everybody had got off.
And you still on the plane?
I was still on the plane sleep. And I think they was going to wake me up, because when I woke up, they were still cleaning the plane. And when I woke up, I looked around. I said, what happened? They said, sir, we in Phoenix. I said, oh, shoot. And I was that tired. Yeah, I didn't know when we took off, and I didn't know when we landed, because I was that tired. And so I got back to Phoenix. And I want to say it was a week later. I want to say it was a few days later. I can't remember. But I get a call from the team that released me, which was the Arizona Cardinals.
Wait, so you get a call from the team that released you last season?
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
And they said, we want to sign you back. And I said, cool. I'll be down there in a minute.
Yeah.
So, because I lived in the same
City.
that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And man, I got there about 10, 15 minutes.
So does this normally happen? Like getting released from a team and then that same team call you back?
It happens, but not always.
Okay.
Because in a lot of cases, you know, once a team release you,
That's it.
they don't want to.
Right.
We know what you can do. We don't need you back.
Right.
But they called me up there and they said, well, we want to sign you back and blah, 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 blah. And we need you here for mini camp.
Mm-hmm.
I think the rookies were coming in and they wanted me to just kind of get my feet back wet and get back into the system. Even though I wasn't a rookie, it was still good for me to get back into the system and
in the swing of things.
in the swing of things.
Routine.
And so you think about it now though, I went through a training camp
Already.
in the early spring, went through a 10-game season. Then I'm home a few days. I get a call back from the Cardinals.
To come back to play and mini camp.
They signed me, and then they want me to come to the rookie mini camp. So I really ain't even had time to rest.
And and that's where grace come in. That grace had to be up on your life in that season. It really had to be.
And then after mini camp, it was only, I want to say, a few more weeks.
And
then the real training camp.
Yeah.
And which is that's a you talking about work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really had no time off, so to speak. But the door was open. And I could have easily just felt sorry for myself and be like, man, I'm tired. I've been through a training camp. I've been through a season. I've been through mini camp. Now I got to go through another training camp.
Or, fear could have helped. Fear could have sucked in too. And it's like, man, I just done all this. What if I go out there and hurt myself?
Hurt myself, or what if I get released again?
Again, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I really wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking about
making a team
again. So they signed me. Now I gotta go back through another training camp. And I'm like, oh my God. And but just that's part of that. Where grace comes in, and you have to overcome that adversity, because like I said, I could have just easily just been like, man, this too much. You know what I'm saying? But, I just, I trusted God and I believed, and I just stayed the course. Was I tired? Of course. But I just stayed the course. And I go through training camp. And then I make it all the way through training camp. And on the final day, don't nobody call me up to the office. And that's a good thing. And then they say, okay, we got a meeting with the final 53. And I was like,
sigh of relief.
And I was like, I made it.
Thank you, Lord.
And so it's one of those deals where, and people may say, well, I know people have gone through worse adversity than that, but this is just my story, one of my stories. And like you said earlier, when you have dreamed your whole life of doing something, you don't give up that easy.
Right. And see, some of the things that we went through, we lost a car in the process of that. Our family members knew. Our sons, both of them had caught pneumonia at the same time.
Yeah, I was overseas.
Yeah, and so all of that was going on, and I'm there by myself. I had friends to help, but it's nothing like your spouse, being there with you and for you with all of that stuff going on. So I mean, those are just some of the things that happened.
They were small.
Yeah, they were. They were. Caleb was probably only like 2.
Yeah.
And Kendall was 4. He was probably 4, and both of them had. And it was just so, I don't know how they end up catching that. I think maybe from daycare or something.
And on top of that,
Yeah.
it was the hour difference.
Oh, yeah.
It was I want to say it was an 8-hour difference.
Yeah.
Because I think I can't remember, but it was like I want to say 7-8 hour difference. I don't know if I called you at night, it was in the morning when I called you.
Yeah, it was the opposite.
Or
Whatever
if
the
I
opposite,
called you in the morning, it was at night.
Yeah, it was the
But
opposite.
it was a big difference, big gap. And
yeah,
so I had to
time
gauge, okay, well, I got to make sure when I call, it's not 3 in the morning when I call. And all that. And that was
Those
that
are
was
just
tough.
yeah, and those are
we
just
were-
things that's behind the scene. Nobody
Cause-
nobody can see.
Because you got to
Nobody
realize
sees.
we had only been married 2 years at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, right.
And so we've been married 2 years and this adversity hit
Yeah,
right away.
right away.
And it kind of reminded me when I told a story about when I got out of high school and I didn't make enough on my ACT and I had to sit out a year. It kind of reminded me of that, where I still had to stay in shape. I still had to keep myself focused on what I wanted to achieve. And I had to stay focused, and I wanted to say, okay, well, do I still want to play? You know, do I still want to chase this NFL dream that I have? Or do I want to just try something else and give up and try something else?
And then this too is we're still in our early 20s when this happened. So this is a lot. This can be a lot. This was a lot on a young 20-year-old.
I was 20.
22, 23.
No, I was
4.
25.
Okay. That's still young.
Yeah, I was still 20.
still
I was
young.
25. I was still young.
All of this.
And
you
it
know,
was
losing a job, losing this.
and it was tough, but you know,
Your salary gone from, what you were making, so that salary is gone.
And so, I made the final roster in '98, and we had a pretty good year that year. We wound up making the playoffs.
Yeah, that was fun.
For the first time in like forever almost.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like 30, 40 years.
It
maybe.
was decades and decades.
It was something like that, but we wound up making the playoffs, even though we lost. No, we won the first game. We beat Dallas.
Then went to Minnesota.
Got beat by Minnesota, but that was a great year. But I could have easily shut the door to that opportunity had I not accepted the call and accepted the call to go to the NFL Europe. Because, like I said, you going to Europe, you leaving your family, and a lot of guys are like, man, I don't believe I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I look back on it, it wasn't nothing but like 3 or 4 months. At the time,
It seemed forever.
it seemed like it was forever, but because you got to think, guys that go to the military, how long they get separated from their family or whatever. But it was like, at the time, it seemed like it was a long time, but it was only 3 or 4 months. So, but that adversity, it hit right away. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't 5 years into our marriage. It wasn't 10 years into our marriage. That was 2 years into our marriage, and that adversity hit. You know what I'm saying? But all I did was I just tried to stay focused and just believe God that everything was gonna work out. And I needed to make sure that I didn't give up, that I didn't faint, that I didn't lose hope, and I just stayed focused. And I just stayed focused on when you stay focused on what you're trying to achieve, the struggle ain't as hard. Think about it. When you go and work out and you got a goal to lose a certain amount of weight, or you got a goal for your body to look a certain way, the pain of working out, you don't focus on the pain, you focus on where you're trying to get to. And that's what I tried to do. I wasn't focusing on maybe the hardships that we were experiencing. I was just trying to focus on where I was headed. And so, and that's really the only thing that kept me focused. You know, but it was tough. I ain't gonna lie, it was tough, but it was a great experience because you got to think about it. One weekend we in Spain, one weekend we flying to England, one weekend we in Scotland, one weekend we in Germany, and it's like, hey, it wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we was able to experience certain things and go different places, and we had fun playing football. So other than being away from my family, I loved it. And like I said, you know, the guys that a lot of guys on my team who they wind up signing with NFL teams as well. And so it gave us experience,
Exposure.
We was able to go around Europe, probably
world,
something that we probably would have never
done.
got a chance to do without football. And so, and all that came through that moment of adversity when they tell you, we gotta let you go. That's what they tell you.
Cut it.
When you get that call,
Yeah.
well, I think it happened when you at your locker and somebody tap you on your shoulder. Hey, we need to see you upstairs. You know.
You already know.
You know what that's about. And when they tell you,
that's not gonna be a good meeting.
And then when you go in there, they'll tell you, man, you did great, and
I don't want to hear that.
man, you did everything we asked you to do. What if I did everything y'all asked me to do?
Why am I in here? Y'all releasing me. Yeah.
Man, you're a hard worker, and
Don't
your
do
teammates
that.
love you.
Hey, don't do that.
The coaching staff love you. Yeah. I'm like, man, but I ain't got no job.
Right.
And so it was tough. The few days after I was released, that was tough. Man. That was, cause you sitting there like, man, you don't know what you're gonna do. And it's like that in life where when things happen, you don't, at the time, you don't know what you're gonna do.
And most of the time, you can't see down to the finish line. You're only seeing right there where you are, right there.
That's why it's so important to have good people around you, because when you're the person that going through adversity, it's hard for you to see
anything.
All you see is
I'm going through this right
what
now.
you're going through, and this is how I feel.
This is not a good feeling.
And it's so important to have some people around you that can help you see beyond what you're experiencing.
Encouraging you, praying for you.
And to be honest with you, man, I really didn't have too many people. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all I tried to do. But like I said, when I think about those few days after I got released, I was like, man, it was, I didn't know what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? So, and in some point in time in your life, we're all like that, whether it's a death of a loved one, loss of job, something happened negatively from a financial perspective. You get to a point where you just almost frozen and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because you can't see past what you're experiencing.
Yeah, can't see beyond your circumstances.
Beyond your circumstances. But, I was able to get through it and, overcome it and get back on course and achieve what I wanted to achieve. And
so let's give, let's do like a takeaway, something that we can leave with the viewers or the listeners today of a takeaway to encourage them, through adversity, whatever that they might be going through. It might be physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, something that we can leave them with that they'll feel encouraged, they'll feel inspired, and not to give up.
Well, just like you heard my story, it's countless of other people that have stories, not necessarily in a sports career, but in other things that may have happened in their life where things happen, adversity hit, they didn't know what they was gonna do. Days and days went by, and they were like, "Man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this is gonna turn out." But somehow, some way, as they believe God, as they trust God, things begin to happen, doors begin to open, and things begin to change. And I encourage you that the same thing that happened for you that happened for me. Doors are open, things are changed, and there'll be a brighter day in the future. So just don't lose hope, don't lose heart, don't give up, don't cave in, don't quit. Great is coming your way.
All right. And there you have it. And this is Candace and Jarius from The Game to Grace. And have a graceful day today. Make it a